What's up, everybody? Alex here, and if you've watched my most recent video, you'll know that I just got back from a trip from Barbados where I got to test out the Insta360 X5 along with the X5 dive case on a couple different dives while I was there. The most recent video I posted is footage from a nice open well-lit reef, beautiful fish and a couple turtles, that kind of thing. With this second dive, I got to test it out in low light because I did a wreck dive. The wreck I did was called the Pamir, and it's about 150 feet long and it sits at about 60 feet. It's pretty well intact. It's in pretty good shape considering it's been down there about 40 years. But I was really excited to test out the low light performance underwater with this thing. And some of the spots that we went through were so dark that we required flashlights to get through. So I was really kind of nervous about how this thing would perform. I'll share my thoughts towards the end of the video, but first I'll share the footage and see what you guys think. Let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so what did you guys think of that low light footage? Overall, I got to say I was pretty impressed. I think that this thing lives up to the hype with its low light performance. Like I said, some of those areas within the ship were really, really dark. There were some spots that were, I think, too dark for the camera to pick up any light because there was hardly any light to pick up. But even in the areas that were just really, really dim, I think that it performed really well. The level of detail that it picked up, I think, was pretty impressive. I did run into some of the same issues that I did on the first one. I noticed some of the same things with the stitch line. Like when I was going in and out of the ship a couple times, I noticed that, the stitch line kind of cut through, but it didn't really ruin the clip for me. It's kind of to be expected with these 360 cameras. I also did see a couple times, the reflection that I talked about in the first video with the top of the dive case here. But again, that's minimized, when you try to minimize how often you twist it. It's not as noticeable when you don't twist it. I also pulled a couple still images from the footage just to see what they were like. And they weren't super disappointing. They weren't super impressive either, considering it was so low lit. They're kind of grainy and there's a lot of noise and that kind of stuff. But, when you're viewing it on a small device, a cell phone or something like that, it still is a pretty impressive picture. And the things that you're able to do with editing a 360 photo are pretty cool too. So that kind of, in my opinion, steals the show a little bit. It makes you overlook a little bit of the graininess and the noisiness of the photos that you pull from the video. But overall, I got to say, I was really impressed. I was really happy with it. I'm not disappointed with my purchase. I plan on using it again. I'm interested to see what you guys think. If you've been on the fence about picking up this case, hopefully, this video, my previous video, helped you make up your mind. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks for watching.